Hey friends, wanted to share with you a few more thrifted upcycles this month. A few of them are really quick makeovers and a couple of them may take a couple hours. But the first thing I want to show you is this two-tier little chicken wire basket. Found this at my bargain center for $1, and I really want to spray paint this like a hammered metal, and I think that'll look really cute. So I'm going to give that a good clean and a spray paint, so that's an easy makeover. The next thing I want to share with you is this big wooden shelf here with the little cubby holes, and it's got some little knobs down here that I could maybe hang a banner or something from, but I really need some more little display space for some of my farmhouse stuff. And when I came across this shelf at the Goodwill for $5.99, I thought that was a great price. I just need to paint it to match my hutch in my kitchen. And so my plan is to paint it black, but it's going to be distressed around the edges. I found this little stool a few days ago walking in my neighborhood. On Thursday nights is the night before trash pickup, and a man set this out by the end of his driveway, and I asked him did he care if I took it, and he said sure. So I don't think I'm going to paint it or strip it. I think I'm going to give it a good clean because it's totally filthy underneath. And I think I'm going to just distress it with some sandpaper and then just put a little polyacrylic on it just to brighten it up. But then the top, this little bench is probably 50 years old. It has no cushion left in it. So I'm going to come up with some kind of cushion to reupholster it. Last but not least is this big crib bench. This is something that actually my husband and I created a year ago, and I'm just now getting around to painting it. It has been on my back porch, and it's just one of those things that I needed to make the time to do it. He just took some big bolts. I actually had the footage of us constructing it and everything, and I was going to share it with y'all, but I just never got around to painting it. I had these legs already, and we just kind of made it work. We went to Lowe's and bought some wood, and so I'm going to chalk paint all this since it's two different types of wood, and it'll all blend in. So I just wanted to give y'all a before shot, and then I'll give you some little snippets with each project as they're being done. So I'll get back with you soon. First project I'm going to start on is my crib bench. And I went ahead and put a little spackle in that one bolt hole right there. And I'm just going to paint over it. And then the color I'm going to use is just some Waverly chalk paint. I had a half a bottle of the elephant and I had a half a bottle of white. And I mixed them up so it's a little lighter than the actual elephant. But I'm going to also put an antique glaze on there, which is going to give it a whole different look as well. So it's going to be kind of a dark gray color when I get done. So I'm going to do 2 coats of this mixed up paint, and then I'll show you. All right, the next day we were out in the garage. It was about 100 degrees, and we had the fans going, so I had to do a voiceover here. But here's the bench with 2 coats, and now I'm getting ready to put the antique glaze on. All right, it took a little while to get the antique glaze into all the little nooks and crannies of this crib, but I finally got it how I wanted it, and then I was ready for the clear coat. All right, I have a couple clear coats on there. I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then I'll be ready to find a home for it inside. The project is this chicken wire basket, and I was going to go to Lowe's and buy some kind of hammered metal spray, but I found this in the cabinet, and I think I'll just use this. It's not black and it's not brown, but it's just kind of a muted farmhouse color, and it is actually Valspar Outdoor Color and Protection. The color is Satin Truffle Hunt. I'm going to scrub this up and give it a couple coats. All right, I'm moving on to my next project. I'm doing a voiceover because of the fan noise, but I'm going to just chalk paint this little shelf, a couple coats, and I will list my do-it-yourself chalk paint recipe below. Morning, and I'm ready to put a clear coat on there. This is the product I use for all my chalk painted projects. It is Mirror Wax Polyacrylic Clear Satin. It just gives it the perfect sheen, nothing too shiny. And then my legs came out nice and clean, and I'm going to put 1 coat on that. And then I'm going to be ready to work on the top of my bench. This fabric looks like it's almost dry rotted. I'm going to rip that off here. And it took me about 15 minutes to get the 2 layers of fabric off. It was totally gross, disintegrating, and I should have worn a mask. It was so powdery. What was so weird looking is underneath the batting is this, it almost looks like Spanish moss, but nonetheless, this is all going in the garbage. And what I basically have here is just a piece of plywood. I'm going to take some pliers and pull out all of the nails and staples that I can, cut down a pillow or do something for my cushion, and then cut my fabric for the top. All right, I finally made some time to come back out here today and work on this since this morning. I got my board cleaned up and I just flipped it over because it looks better. I'm using a bunch of rolled batting that someone gave me, and that's going to work out perfect. As far as my fabric, I already had a couple yards of this just beige ticking. This is the easy part. I'm going to use a heavy-duty stapler. I'm just going to bring it all up 4 corners first, just work my way around stapling. But I do the 4 corners first to get it in place, and then working on the sides just helps tighten it up. All right, my husband got my top attached, screwed onto my bench legs, but now that it's on there, I can tell where I've kind of pulled and stapled, and it's a little bumpy and puckered. So, and also my corners are a little more exposed. So what I'm going to do is, I just happen to be about 20 inches too short, but I had a piece of this wide Dollar Tree jute twine, and I think I'm going to hot glue all the way around just to fill in the gap and to help cover up some of that exposed corner, and it'll just give this bumpiness an evened out look and finished look. Hopefully my closest Dollar Tree will have some more of this. I've moved my bench indoors, and I put a pillow on it, and I just stuck it here in my back den where the paneling is dark and the floors are dark, so it may not show up as well as it should. And believe it or not, it's really comfortable to sit in. When my husband was measuring the seat part, he made it custom for me. I hope I can find a home for it where I can enjoy it more often. I'm so glad to finally have it done. We're up in my master bath now, and I found a place for my chicken wire basket. I just really didn't have room in my kitchen or dining room. This just kind of houses a lot of my husband's knick-knack stuff, and it's just great to have it all right there readily available on the counter. Love how this turned out for $1 and some spray paint I already had. And now we're in my kitchen. Here is my shelf, all finished, hung on the wall, and decorated. We'll move in a little closer just so you can see some of the stress. And I had all this stuff, and just my hutch was just getting so crowded, and I'm so glad now to have a place where I can trade out things when I find them. All right, we are back up in my master bathroom, and I brought the little stool up here, and I just pinned into place the jute twine that I had, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like when I get it finished. Of course, my Dollar Tree was a tornado and out of everything you ever need, but it's really going to look good once I get a long enough piece to hot glue all the way around the cushion and finish it off. But this is a little vanity area in my master bath, the same place I put my little chicken wire organizer. This is where I used to get ready for years and years, and one day I just thought, why am I crowding myself in this rinky-dink master bathroom when I've got other bedrooms I can spread out and do my own thing? And that's exactly what I did a couple years ago. But I took the little vanity stool I had here and always needed another one. So this is just the perfect fit here. This is basically my husband's bathroom now, but I'm so glad to have a little stool back. So I hope you enjoyed these little makeovers. I got 2 additions to my master bath, and definitely going to enjoy the other things I made over as well. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.